Hello, welcome to our channel. We appreciate each and every one of you. You are the salt of the earth. You are what makes the world go round. You are the smartest audience and the most active audience in the world. And I appreciate every minute you spend here. Thank you for coming. This may be a little bit long, but I think you're going to appreciate what we say here. And you will learn an enormous amount not taught by anybody else on television or in the media because they're scared. Well, we're not scared. So, martial law, what does it mean to you? We are now implementing martial law in 19 states. It will soon be in all 50 states. The 19 states are test states. They've moved the advanced parties out, and the advanced parties are looking at the feasibility of doing this. Trump may even put the command of the National Guard of other states in the hands of the governors that are loyal to him. Because obviously Gavin Newsom, a clone, I am a clone, I answer to an AI, I am a clone, I answer to an AI. He said it many times on television. A clone is only loyal to an AI which is being run by Satan. So anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. First, they're putting toxic waste, dead bodies, and fluoride in your water. We've been tracking this for many years now. And our city is putting fluoride in, but they're also putting, along with the fluoride, toxic waste and dead bodies, which is why when they add the fluoride to the water systems, they have to wear Apollo 11 suits with oxygen tanks. Because what they're putting in our water is so toxic and it doesn't mix well. You turn on the faucet, sometimes you get a big blob of fluoride and sometimes there's no fluoride in it at all. We've been analyzing this for many years now. So they've been poisoning us. No wonder why Get the Tea's Life Change Tea. I know they've probably changed the packaging, but I use it. I like the pomegranate. The senna, be careful. The reason it didn't go wild on YouTube is because all the YouTubers took a bag and put it in a cup of hot water and drank it. Well, you're supposed to use the tea bag over a week. Man, they had the hoochie coochies. They had the runs for 2 days. You follow the instructions. Get the Tea is natural, but it's very powerful. I've never seen a herbal company like this. It's very powerful stuff. You follow the instructions. I do. So I go to getthetea.com or 928-308-0408. No wonder why we have to keep ourselves clean. That has things that, when I did my research, those products in there cleaned out your liver and kidneys. So no kidney stones. This was my personal research on the products. And then when I met Ronnie and Get the Tea, he had very similar ingredients which do the same thing. Burdock root is burdock root. Marshmallow is marshmallow. Rose hips, rose hips. So anyway, a great product, Life Change Tea. You got to drink city water. You better start using that because they're out there not to make you healthy because they get paid off and Big Pharma makes all that money off you. How many drugs are you on? Yeah, start filtering your city water. And even at that, you got to take a shower in the crap. We can't get RFK to take the crap out of our water. What good is he? I'm going to ban mRNA and vaccines, and then they start spraying them on our crops. He's proven to be absolutely worthless. Anyway, on to the news. Our economy is in shambles. 4 months in a row, our home prices have gone down. The CIA is offering us every day money on our house. They're offering us 70% of the value of our house because they see everything going down. You buy it to an outside. Oh, and that's a local source. They're only 10 miles away. The CIA has fingers that go out like a octopus of Lucifer. Speaking of octopuses, this is from the Lucifer Trust. I'm in the enemy camp. This is the Lucifer Trust symbol. This is the Ukrainian symbol. This is the Nazi symbol. It has been hidden from you. Google has obliterated the Nazi symbols, so you can't say Ukraine, Lucifer Trust are the same. I'm holding it up long enough for you to look at this. Okay, that's enough. The Lucifer Trust symbol is the same as the Nazi symbol, which is the same as the Ukrainian symbol. And the United States is now supporting them to the tune of, I don't know how many billions. State Department just creates money out of thin air and won't tell anybody. So Marco Rubio, who, when he was running against Trump, there were pictures of him in an orgy bathtub with 50 other men having hoochie coochie, bubble bath, and now all of a sudden he's a straight family man. I don't think he's human, frankly. And Hegseth keeps changing form also. So, now that home prices are collapsing and our economy is collapsing and Biden's tripling your energy bill is now coming about, he is there to destroy you. But it wasn't Biden, it was all his little minions. So, what does martial law mean? First of all, habeas corpus. Habeer means you. Corpus means body. Habeas corpus refers to your body. When you are arrested, you have the right to go before a jury and find out what you were arrested for. Now, when habeas corpus is suspended, they go after the people they know what they're being arrested for. Unless they arrest people randomly, which they did in the Civil War. Somebody would do something, they would randomly arrest you. Nice to feel good with Get the Tea, Life Change Tea. It just makes you feel better. Anyway, so habeas corpus means if you're arrested, you have the right quickly, speedily, to go before a jury. But the Democrats, the Democratic governors illegally, and the Democratic judges illegally, and the FBI illegally, and the Department of Homeland Security illegally, arrested the J6ers without habeas corpus. The guy with one leg, which he has a big, huge thing around him from the Department of Justice, who was building the Trump wall, was arrested without charges. Most of the J6ers were arrested without trial and without charges because the demons, the Democrats, the Nazis, the Ukrainians, those who are loyal to the Lucifer Trust, the demons in the Democratic Party suspended habeas corpus illegally. And through the suspension of habeas corpus, which can only be suspended by the president, they made themselves a target. That's why they're doing everything they can do to destroy this country, because they see their own incarceration. Now, martial law is defined under Bouvier law, and I don't think Trump knows this, and I don't think Hegseth knows this. I think they're shooting from the hip. That military rule and authority which exists in time of war and is conferred by the laws of war in retaliation. The laws of war, which may only be implemented by the President of the United States, not the President of the United States Corporation, in relation to persons and things under within the scope of active military operations in carrying on the war, and with extinguishes or suspends civil rights and the remedies founded upon them for a time being so far as it may appear to be necessary in order to fulfill accomplishments of the purpose of the war. It goes on also to discuss invasions, and President Trump made it very clear when he appointed the 2 Supreme Court justices that we are in a time of war and we are under an invasion. Now, you've all seen me pull out the military laws of war. They haven't changed much. Trump, you need to go back to the laws of war of 1960. Suspend all additions to that law of war, and that gives you an open hand. I can provide you with that document. The law of war is very specific. In a time of war, the military are your gods. You don't diss the military. They get very upset. Some of the privates and sergeants are under a lot of stress when they're carrying loaded rifles and told to police the civilians. But we have over 200,000 illegal aliens in the military. Hegseth has not purged them. Why? Damn good question. So, what does that mean in Washington, D.C.? Well, first of all, Trump said he would arrest evil people who worked under Biden. Those who did the auto pen, those who orchestrated the auto pen, all those around Biden who didn't know what day it was. There was 18 doubles, and he's not allowed to say that because Trump must obey his masses. He's just a slave to his masters. Trump can now arrest the evil people who worked for Biden. He just said that in his speech. So you implemented the auto pen sign, you may go to jail very quickly. He will prosecute you. And we'll talk about the prosecution in a minute. You harm a statue in the United States, a war memorial, you go to jail for 10 years. No early out, a federal prison. You burn a flag, 1 year in prison, no early out, you go to a federal prison. And those federal prisons are tough. They feed you like crap. I know, I met a Russian gal who weighed about 400 pounds who's getting $50,000 a year through the U.S. State Department as a refugee to cook food for the prisons, and every time she ate it, she got the runs. Those prisons are brutal. So, anyone breaking the law, such as the Federal Reserve Chairman, such as the Assistant Federal Reserve Chairman, such as the gal that was just found on the Federal Reserve Board of Governors committing mortgage fraud, such as Adam Smith, such as Letitia James, and dozens of other Democrats, go to federal prison. Habeas corpus is suspended. They go to federal prison. Trump has that power now. We're going to find out if he has the guts to arrest these people. I don't know. He may. They're all trying to kill him. You better start doing something or he's a dead man. That's not meant as a joke. That's not meant as ha ha ha. A martial law in D.C., they've arrested, the press says, no, they've arrested 4 people. No, they haven't. They've arrested over 1,000 people. And they've taken hundreds of guns off the street that the kids were playing with and throwing around. They've taken thousands of weapons off the streets that the FBI gave the drug dealers. They've arrested a lot of drug dealers, and there hasn't been a murder in D.C. in almost 14 days. Not since the National Guard came in. Because you see, unlike the demons that want you dead, they don't arm the National Guard. The Republicans arm the National Guard. They can shoot back. And drug dealers don't want to be masked on by 200 machine gun carrying crazy little kids because they'll blast them apart. They have M203 rocket launchers. They'll blow them into little bitty pieces. They don't want that. I know. When I was working as a forester, I was going to school and we were using Louisiana Pacific land. And there were some horse riders riding through, and they said, oh, you're just National Guard. You don't have any live rounds, so I pulled out a clip of live rounds. By the way, there were 3 cops behind me, and they packed. The National Guard has a lot of police officers, thank God. And I showed them a live clip. I said, we have live rounds. Louisiana Pacific called me about 2 months later. What did you say out there? I told him. He says, we haven't had any dope growers on our land since you were out there. Dope growers are afraid of the armed military. I am too. You get them mad, you're dead. So the Democrats are lying about it, and they're it's our law enforcement that's doing it. No, it's not. The Democrats lie, so Trump can now start arresting mayors, city councilmen. Like here, we have the highest crime rate in the world, right here in Tacoma, Washington. Right here, President Trump. The highest crime rate, highest murder rate, the highest rape rate, the highest burglary rate here in Tacoma. You're going to tackle Chicago? What about here? We have the highest per capita murder rate here. I heard the gangs howling the other night. They go out there and they go, ow, it's a certain gang. Blowing off weapons, killing people. The highest murder rate is here in Tacoma, Washington per capita. Why don't you do something about that, President Trump? Or is this all theater? He says he's going after Chicago next. The D.C. streets have been made safe. And when they arrest someone, they're putting him in federal prison, not county or state prison. They're putting him in federal prison. And that's tough, I guess. Guys out of federal prison say it's tough. You can tell which prison they're in by their tattoos. And when they get out of federal prison for a felony, they get AUX and GAU welfare and low-income housing. White males who don't have a crime record can't get low-income housing. But almost all low-income housing is to refugees and illegal aliens. Universities have done, Duke University is one of them. All of the homeless in America are created by giving low-income housing to illegal aliens. So the Secretary of Defense is activating National Guard units in all 50 states to deal with civilian crimes. He's bringing in active duty. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but another executive order was signed by Trump. What happens here in Tacoma, a guy commits a murder. He goes to a judge, he releases him on a no cash bail. You just show up at this date, you're good to go. So crime has skyrocketed. It's called no cash bail. It's called catch and release. You catch a man raping a woman, she then murders the woman, you arrest him, you put him before a judge, he's out the next day, more than likely he murders another person. This is Tacoma, Washington. Highest crime rate in the country, President Trump, J.D. Vance, Hegseth. So he's bringing in active duty personnel, and when you're arrested, you go to federal prison. The auto pens are illegal. He's going after Chicago because Chicago is a horrible place. The mayor makes a lot of horrible statements. And a lot of people are murdered in Chicago, and it happens to be where a financial center is for this country. So he's going after Chicago. 7 days, that's how long it took Trump to make it the safest city in the world. 7 days with the military. He destroyed 49 homeless encampments. It's okay, in Phoenix they got wiped out thanks to NASA drying the soil out. We now have dust storms wiping out the southwestern United States and floods destroying the southeastern United States. Thank you, NASA, for murdering Americans. Well, he may be able to go after those murdering NASA employees now. And the 55th and 60th Air Wing, the general in charge of that, should be arrested. So, he's made D.C. clean, beautiful, and safe. And rather than tearing up a road and leaving the equipment there for 7 years and then repaving it like the libtards do, he's going to come in with construction crews, re-asphalt all of D.C., rebuild the center things. Why doesn't he send the Department of Transportation or the Corps of Engineers into Washington State to arrest those responsible for tearing up a freeway and leaving the equipment there for 2 months, doing nothing? Why? We're going to find out if Hegseth has the guts or if this is all smoke and mirrors. And catch and release was eliminated. So what else does it mean? It means that what's going to happen in America is totally different than what you thought. Those criminals are going to be arrested for rape and murder and burglary. There was a young woman who had her house burglarized in D.C. Guy tried to kill her. She got to 911. They came and arrested him. They released him that night on no cashless bail, and he went back and killed the woman for ratting on him. Young gal. Young pretty gal in D.C. So what's happening is catch and release has ended, but it hasn't ended in Washington, Oregon, or California. We still have catch and release. That's why we had gunshots after Trump's speech and his executive order. Gunshots, gangs howling. Every telephone pole is marked with a gang marking. 7, 8, 9 doors down, we got MS-13 right here in Tacoma. The sleepy little Tacoma. So is he going after the highest crime rate cities or the ones that are in the news? I think he's going after the ones that are in the news. From the speed at which Hegseth is moving, it looks like it's going to take September, October, about December when martial law is fully implemented and they might get to this outwater town of Tacoma. Maybe. So by December, that 3I alien Atlas aircraft may be near the Earth, and the magnetic anomaly will be coming out from behind the sun to destroy the planet Earth, and we'll have the military all activated as the United States takes Venezuela, sells the oil, and keeps going for another year. As the magnetic anomaly comes out from behind the sun and starts to smack us, they may claim an alien invasion. That's why they've seized the Snake River Valley and prohibiting farmers from using their own water because there's a cobalt mine there. And they want as much cobalt to build cobalt bombs as they can get. It's all about building weapons. Money talks, BS walks. It's all about the arms industry. Kill the farmers, build the cobalt weapons. Anyway, we're going to find out if martial law actually moves west or if it's all a ploy. We'll know soon enough, within 3 months. Now you know what martial law is, and now you know how the law of war comes into play with martial law. Can they arrest foreign ambassadors? If they do, the soldiers are likely to be killed. It's an act of war against 192 different countries if they do that. So anyway, God bless. Thank you very much, which means I can continue to fight the veterans' battles, which are being treated so poorly at the VA. You go in there in a suit and tie, and the doctors couldn't care less if an operation is successful or unsuccessful on a veteran. Nor could the technicians. They talk about how veterans are stupid and unnecessary. That putting them back to work is worthless because they might take their job. Anyway, God bless. Thank you very much. We'll see how much this martial law works and whether Hegseth is a liar or he tells the truth. God bless. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.